Yeah, can you pass Kenji's glass?
All right, so visibly, this wine is a red wine. Concentration, I would say it's kind of medium. Secondary colors. Let's see. The color itself is it's kind of red. The rim, lighter red on the rim. The clarity, good clarity. No real evidence of gas. Ooh.
Ooh.
Oh. Interesting. Okay. So I would say it's kind of jumping out of the glass at me, which would be like moderate plus powerful intensity on the nose. To me, it looks like it is, I would say, developing. It's not necessarily too youthful. It's not too old. It's something that's still developing. Fruit-wise, I'm definitely getting some red, some black fruit. Not so much blue. Mostly red though. Kind of like a.
What is the fruit condition to you?
The fruit condition, I would say that it's fresh fruit.
And is this more fruit or more earth? In your
I would
opinion?
say, I'm saying that it's pretty balanced.
I agree.
Yeah. So,
Somewhere in between both.
Yeah, because it's not like one's jumping out over the other, which is kind of cool.
Totally.
And this is just the aromas. So for like, I would say there's definitely some light herbal to it. Little bit of floral as well. When it comes to like earth or non-fruit characteristics, I'm definitely getting some type of soil, but it's not like the dominant thing.
Totally.
Yeah. Let's see.
What about on the taste?
Taste. And actually, when it comes to oak, it seems like it's very subtle, but there's
It's like
definitely oak
framed
presence
in it, if anything.
Yeah. Maybe, maybe like a light French or maybe like neutral or something. Let's see. Interesting. This is it's almost a little bit tart. So I'm thinking maybe it's kind of a younger wine displaying red fruit. It's tart. There's a hint of vegetal in there too. Oh, such a unique wine. Complex, nice finish.
I mean, it's pretty seamless.
It is.
And it's pretty long.
It's kind of interesting because like it kind of like on the palate, it's light on the front of the palate, but it has this whole woof, and then it kind of dissipates with like these fine tannins on the finish.
It's intense. This thing punches you,
Yeah, but it's
in
like
a very elegant,
yes.
But it's got something to say for sure.
Ugh. So this is a wine that's very different for me. Like if I try this, I would say, wow, I need this on my list, but it's not something that I have currently on the list. I know that.
So you like this wine?
I love this wine. There's a lot of character. It almost reminds me of like Italian vibes in a way, like something elegant and Italian.
And honestly, I think I may have done this. I woke up at like 7 this morning, and at like 7:45, I decanted it. So it might have been decanted a little too early to really show. I mean, I think that this wine's singing right now, but it's different than it normally would be.
Oh, okay. So it's not tight. It has
It's
oxygen.
really open right now.
And you know what? That adds to the elegance right? The refined elegance that
and I
we're
think
getting.
certain things kind of burnt off as far as flavor and smell goes, and it's just, I think it's in a good spot. But
Well, it's high acid as well. Like I'm definitely, this is very food friendly. I would love this with some pasta made from anti some small mom and pop shop in Italy and Sicily. But possible varietals, just looking at the viscosity and the high acidity, I'm thinking it looks like, it kind of reminds me of Pinot, right? Also, I think that, I don't know why, but I'm also thinking Grenache in a way. But I don't have, like, just keep this in mind, I don't have the theoretical knowledge that these guys have, but I do have some other wines that I can reference in my head.
Totally.
You know what I mean?
And I mean, definitely in wine, as far as just skin color goes, those could be laterals for sure.
Mm-hmm. Most of the Sangiovesis I've had have been really gritty, but if Sangiovese was made in a
More charming way almost.
Okay, charming. That's a great word. I could see that this would. This could be something that I'd choose. So I'll just go ahead and say it's either Pinot, it's either Grenache, or it's some interesting versions of Sangiovese. But we'll just kind of narrow it down. I'll say that this is a Grenache from Southern Rhone, and this is honestly, I'm thinking like this is a 2021. We'll just go with that, and we'll see what happens, and then we'll learn from it.
100%.
Yeah,
and you're definitely on the path.
You're definitely on the path.
You're definitely on the path. So this is Scherer, Fred Scherer,
Okay.
Sonoma County Pinot Noir, 2016 vintage. So when you're
2016?
2016,
Damn.
Is this the Sonoma County?
yeah. So when you were doing your site assessment, you're on. Like this wine it's not bricky yet, but it's starting to kind of turn that color.
Uh-huh.
And all the three grapes that you guess or that you're theorizing are all, I mean, essentially laterals of each other in blind tasting.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that the most important part is that you kind of understood the soul of this wine, that it's charming but it's elegant, and it's got this intensity and tension to it. And so he brought his wine. Sorry, is there anything else you want to say?
No,
Yeah?
I'm listening. I'm learning.
So he brought his Moscafalero for food friendliness and to show that aspect of wine. And to me, so we started buying this specific bottling and this specific vintage when we were doing our podcast, which was like 2021 or 2022.
Uh-huh.
And only now are they switching to the 2017 vintage. So this is what he was currently selling on the market, and it has 9 years of bottle age already, but it took 3 or 4 years to sell out. And like, that's crazy to me, because this is like $29 wholesale, I think. And in this price range, this wine should be flying off the shelf, in my opinion. And that's kind of what my message was today, is just something that's really good. And in this price range, there's probably very few other things that I would personally buy for my restaurant. So hopefully this sparks somebody out there to like really get behind this. And this is a wine that, like, we just went to this mom and pop's breakfast shop today. And when I was initially parking, I was like, man, this thing looks like it's not going to have a lot of people inside. And that made me sad. But when we got in there, they had tables and stuff. And this wine not selling out fast is reminiscent of like a mom and pop's not being full. Like, these are something that we should totally blindly support, because the wine is so good and it's so well priced. And if it's not supported, like, it's potentially, I'm not gonna say it's gonna be lost or whatever, but like, this is just something that should 1000% be on everybody's wine list and should fly off the shelves from the distributor, like as soon as it lands, in my opinion. So that was my message.
Wow, thank you so much. And then you also, keep in mind, everyone, that he decanted this, so it's been, open for, a couple hours.
Yeah.
Right. Which does help a wine develop. Right. It's also something that was stored at the right temperature. Did you have this in
In my cellar.
Yeah. So it's been taken care of and stored properly. That's very important, especially when you're in a hot climate like Hawaii,
Totally.
tropical climate, right? So you could damage wine if you don't store it properly. Yeah, man. My thoughts on this is like, it was a very pretty wine, man, and it definitely had character and age and personality, you know, and the fact that you gave it that time with the air, you know, it's like to me drinking perfectly right now, and then that intensity, and then, you know, for a Pinot, and then those beautiful talents that kind of delicately, you know, finish on a palate at the end was really nice too. So.
So just two different sides, you know,
Good.
something that's, I think that
Very.
this wine's also still food friendly and stuff, but just like this is something that should blindly be supported, in my opinion. So,
I'm used to drinking young Pinots, man. This was like, whoa. So,
and it's crazy. I mean, we, as restaurant buyers, we don't have to age this. We don't have to buy it and sit on it. It's already been aged.
Yeah.
Like the work has been done. Now we just get to enjoy, you know, so even more so, this thing should not be around anymore, you know?
yeah. Well, I'm glad it is. And where do I get it?
That's a good question. Probably like somewhere like Artfield or Fujioka's.
Okay.
Something that's specialty, and it's not expensive. You know, it's not. I wouldn't say it's like your daily porch pounder drinker.
Yeah.
But it's not something that's gonna break the wallet. You know, and as far as for us on the back end side, it's from Southern. Yeah.
We should take a bottle of this to Henry and Paula.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
We can go up Fujioka's Caparoso.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
it has to be Fujioka's.
Oh,
Where the Swiss and dressing used to be sold. Hey, so what do you think about this wine?
So first of all, let me say, Fred Scherer is a one-man show. So I asked him in January 2020,
Uh-huh.
how many employees do you have? So for the previous finish, 2019, he said he had 1,000 man hours.
Throughout the year.
So if you divide that by 365 days,
Uh-huh.
that's less than 3 hours a day of help. All the rest of the work he does himself. So when he says supporting a small mom and pop, or not corporate, small mom and pop, that's totally it. What I love about the reason why I was enamored with Fred, his wines have wonderful intensity and concentration. They're gorgeous the way they're made. They're very suave and seductively textured from beginning to end. And they finish unoaky, unalcoholic, unbitter. And they get better with age. There's a lot of wines that may age, but I don't know how many get better with age. This is a 2016. Look at it. It's still a baby. So Fred Scherer's wines are some of the very best out of California for me.
Oh, sick. Well,
I'll take some more with you too.
yes, sir. Please.
Sip sips.
Porch pounder.
11 a.m. baby. And I don't feel bad about
That's
it.
what I mean.
So just to
not
give you
by
some
myself.
background further,
Yes.
the first wine I had with him was with my best friend in San Francisco. It was a 1991 Zinfandel that he makes. We went to see him the next day. My friend Nuncio and I went to see him the next day. It took me 7, 8, 9 years of contacting him. Back then, never have cell phone or email. It took me 7, 8, 9 years of writing fax to him or leaving a message on his message machine in order for me to get the wine. So I would call him up and I go, "Hey Fred." He goes, "Hey Chuck, I don't have any wine for you." I said, "I know, but it took me that long to get the wine to Hawaii."
Wow.
Yeah, and I'm one of those guys, just like the Mascaflero, I'm one of those guys, if I want a wine, I don't care what, I'm gonna get it here. It's gonna take some time, but I'm gonna get it. So the one that won me over, it wasn't his Pinot Noir, it was his Zinfandel. So the Zinfandel was planted in 1912, the first vines in his father's vineyard. It's like an old vine Zinfandel, crafted by a Pinot Noir maker. So it's much more elegant, much more suave like this. Most people in the blind tasting will think it's Pinot.
And also, what's really interesting about Fred is that he's hyper intentional about calling this Sonoma County. So I just had a wine tasting at Mara this past Sunday, and I poured his Russian River Valley Pinot Noir, 2014 vintage, which is still available. And I had called him. I was like, I had called my dad, and he's like, "What's the difference?" I had asked him like, "Why Russian River Valley versus Sonoma County?" He's like, "Call Fred." So I call Fred, every vintage, he makes the wine first, and then he determines what bottling it's going to go into. So he wants it to wholeheartedly and intentionally and genuinely represent Sonoma County or Russian River Valley or whatever he's going to label it as, which I think is even more intentional, you know?
He's in Hawaii today.
Really?
Oh, call him up.